The architectural history: a city by the sea. Varna is not just a city. It is a story written in stone, brick, wood, and glass. Sitting on the western coast of the Black Sea, Varna has watched thousands of years of human history pass by its shores. Empires came. Empires fell. Cultures mixed. Wars destroyed buildings. Peace rebuilt them again. Every street in Varna holds layers of time, from prehistoric settlements older than the pyramids, to ancient Greek colonies, to Roman baths, to medieval fortresses, to Ottoman houses, and finally to modern seaside architecture. Varna is often called the sea capital of Bulgaria. But long before it earned that title, people were already building here, shaping one of the oldest urban landscapes in Europe. This is the architectural history of Varna. 1. Prehistoric Varna, before written history. Long before the city had walls, temples, or streets, people lived here more than 7,000 years ago. Archaeologists discovered something extraordinary near Varna, the Varna necropolis, dating back to around 4600 to 4200 BCE. This site completely changed how historians understand early civilization in Europe. Here they found carefully planned burial spaces, gold jewelry, the oldest processed gold in the world, signs of social structure and organized communities. These early people built homes from wood, clay, reeds, stone foundations. Their houses were simple, usually round or rectangular, with mud walls and thatched roofs. There were no grand buildings yet, but something important had begun. The idea of settlement. The idea of planning space. The beginning of architecture. 2. Ancient Greek Varna, the city of Odessos. Around the 6th century BCE, Greek settlers arrived from Miletus and founded a city called Odessos. This is when Varna truly became an urban center. Greek architecture introduced order and design. The city was planned with organized streets, public squares, agoras, defensive walls, temples and civic buildings. Buildings were made of stone blocks, carefully cut and placed. Important features included columns, Doric and Ionic styles, symmetry and balance, open public spaces. Homes were usually built around small courtyards, offering privacy from the street. Odessos became a thriving port city, connecting the Black Sea with the Greek world. Architecture now served not only shelter, but identity, religion, and power. 3. Roman Varna, monumental power. When the Romans took control in the 1st century BCE, architecture changed dramatically. Romans built big. Very big. The most famous Roman structure in Varna is the Roman baths, among the largest in all of Europe. These baths were not just places to wash. They were social centers, business meeting places, political discussion spaces. The baths included heated floors, hypocaust system, marble walls, tall arches, massive brick structures. Roman architecture brought concrete construction, vaults and domes, engineering precision. Roads were paved. Water systems were developed. Public buildings dominated the city. Odessos became a Roman city of prestige. Even today, the ruins show how advanced Roman construction truly was. 4. Early Christian and Byzantine Varna. As Christianity spread across the empire, architecture changed again. Large pagan temples were replaced by basilicas, churches, religious complexes. During the Byzantine period, Varna became an important spiritual center. Churches were built with brick and stone patterns, rounded apses, cross-shaped layouts, decorative ceramic elements. Unlike Roman buildings that focused on size, Byzantine architecture focused on symbolism. Light represented heaven. Domes symbolized the sky. Geometry carried religious meaning. Even ruins from this period show careful design and deep spiritual intention. 5. Medieval Bulgarian Varna, fortresses and defense. During the First and Second Bulgarian empires, Varna became a heavily fortified city. Architecture now focused on survival. The city was surrounded by thick stone walls, towers, gates, defensive trenches. Buildings inside were simpler, often built from stone and wood. Churches remained important, usually small but richly decorated inside with frescoes. This was a time of constant threat, invasions, sieges, and political instability. Architecture became practical, strong, and protective. Varna was no longer just a trade city, it was a shield. 6. Ottoman Varna, a new urban life. In the late 14th century, Varna became part of the Ottoman Empire. This brought a major transformation to the city's architecture. Ottoman urban design focused on daily life. New structures appeared. Mosques, minarets, baths, hammams, caravanserais, wooden houses. Traditional Ottoman houses had stone ground floors, wooden upper levels, overhanging balconies, small windows facing the street. Homes were designed inward, toward family privacy. Streets became narrow and winding. Neighborhoods formed around mosques and markets. Varna became a multicultural city where Bulgarians, Turks, Greeks, Armenians, and Jews lived side by side. The architecture reflected this diversity. 7. The 19th century, awakening and change. By the 1800s, Varna began to modernize. Trade increased. Ports expanded. European influence returned. After Bulgaria's liberation in 1878, architecture entered a new era. Western styles flooded in. New buildings appeared in neoclassical style, Baroque revival, Romantic architecture. Stone replaced wood. Streets were widened. Urban planning became organized again. Varna was no longer a quiet Ottoman port, it was becoming a European city. 8. Early 20th century, the golden age of Varna. The late 19th and early 20th centuries are often considered Varna's architectural golden age. This period created many of the city's most beautiful buildings. Popular styles included neoclassicism, Art Nouveau secession, eclectic architecture. Buildings were richly decorated with sculpted faces, floral patterns, balconies with iron railings, decorative roofs. Important landmarks from this time include Varna Opera House, Naval Club, grand hotels along the sea. Architecture now expressed optimism. Varna was growing, wealthy, and confident. The city turned toward the sea not just for trade, but for beauty. 9. Interwar period, between tradition and modernity. Between World War I and World War II, architecture began to simplify. Decorations slowly disappeared. Functionalism and early modernism emerged. Buildings became cleaner in form, more geometric, less ornamented. Concrete and steel were used more often. This period acted as a bridge between classical beauty and modern efficiency. The city was changing, not just in style but in mindset. 10. Socialist era, monumental and uniform. After World War II, Bulgaria entered the socialist period. Architecture changed dramatically once again. The focus was now on function, mass housing, equality, state power. Large apartment blocks were built quickly. These buildings were tall, repetitive, concrete-based. They were designed to house thousands of people efficiently. At the same time, monumental public buildings appeared, such as cultural centers, administrative buildings, memorials. This architecture often felt heavy and serious. Beauty was secondary to ideology. Yet these buildings shaped modern Varna's skyline more than any other period. 11. Post-1990 Varna, freedom and chaos. After the fall of socialism, Varna entered a new chapter. Suddenly, private construction returned. Styles mixed freely, sometimes beautifully, sometimes chaotically. New architecture included glass office towers, luxury seaside hotels, shopping malls, residential complexes. There were few strict rules at first. As a result, Varna became a mix of ancient ruins, elegant 1900s buildings, socialist blocks, modern glass structures. This contrast defines the city today. 12. Modern Varna, between past and future. Today, Varna stands at a crossroads. Architects face an important question. How do you build a modern city without losing its soul? Restoration projects aim to preserve Roman baths, historic houses, early 20th century landmarks. At the same time, new sustainable architecture is emerging. Modern buildings now focus on energy efficiency, sea views, public spaces, green areas. Varna continues to grow, but its past still whispers from beneath the streets. Conclusion: a city built by time. Varna is not defined by one style. It is defined by layers. Each era left something behind. Prehistoric wisdom, Greek planning, Roman engineering, Byzantine faith, medieval strength, Ottoman daily life, European elegance, socialist power, modern ambition. Together, they form a living architectural timeline. Walking through Varna is like walking through history, where the sea connects every chapter. This city was not built in one century. It was built across 7,000 years, and its story is still being written.